It's time now for the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show. I'm Jack Mormon, joined by Coach Matt Mumme. We're here at Mare Sol. You need to come on out tonight. It is the happening place to be. They like lamb. They've got well, we lost our banner there.
And there goes our sign again.
But the specials on the lamb again tonight. They do such a tremendous job of taking good care of us. I think we need to just begin with a great shout out to them and a real appreciation to them here at Mare Sol.
There's no doubt. I wish Chase was around. We could wave at him or something, or make him come over here and get a camera shot or something. But I tell you what, Fader and I had the fillet, the 8-ounce fillet for the first time that we've ever come to Mare Sol. We've been coming here for a few years. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. I mean, it was really good and really enjoyed that. But they really do. Chase and them do a great job here. Yeah,
they do. And, of course, it's a central place here in LaGrange right here in downtown, right up from the theater. Tell you what, all the restaurants, we do appreciate all the hard work those folks go to all across downtown. Well, Coach, it was a different week for you in that it was an off week for the team. The guys got to get a little rest, kind of get some of those nagging things here as we go into conference play. But I just want to mention one guy that I know that does a tremendous job for your staff, and that's Rob Dix. I know that he does a great job of taking care physically of all your guys.
Yeah, Rob had his hands full this past week. I mean, that Ave Maria game, a lot of people don't realize how hot it was down there and how much it took out of our guys. So it really was great that we had an off week after that game, and especially the long travel and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But Rob does a tremendous job getting our guys back on the field. And Rob and I meet, we usually meet every Monday morning to talk about where our guys are at. And he has done an excellent job, and, we were looking at the list, and the list was really not that long. We got a couple of guys that have some minor things, but all of them are going to be back in practice tomorrow. So the off week was good for us. A lot of young guys got reps last week, so that was good, and gave them a chance to show what they can do, and getting ready for their JV game coming up this Sunday against Fort Benning.
Oh, wow, that'll be a big time. We'll talk more about that and lots more as we're getting started. We'll also be joined by the drum major for the band, Jalen Smith. He'll join us in our next segment. Right now, you're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show on Eagle Sports.
When you choose a dentist, you want to know that you made the right decision. So where do you start? Go to BellDentalCenter.com. That's the right way to begin to know Dr. Bell and his staff. And then drop in at 106 Corporate Plaza Drive in LaGrange and visit with the staff. And you'll know that this is the right place for you.
And the trickle of these veterans started coming off, and each one of them had somebody with them that was an escort. And most of these guys.
Botox and Juvederm treatments. Bell Dental Center. Visit their website at BellDentalCenter.com.
Mention LaGrange College, and the word one pops up a lot. Like the student-faculty ratio is 11-to-1. That means plenty of one-on-one time with professors. Our students work for number one companies, earn Emmy and Grammy nominations, and they give back to their communities, which is wonderful. We are LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions. One visit, and you'll see why. LaGrange.edu/journey.
Calling all area coaches. Calling all area coaches, high school coaches, travel ball coaches, and more. Mud Creek Team Sales is now selling sporting goods like Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell for travel teams, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and more. For more information, call Mud Creek Team Sales today at 706-884-5592. Call Coach Jeter or Greg Hicks. Calling all area coaches. Mud Creek Team Sales with all your sporting goods. Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell. Mud Creek Team Sales, a proud sponsor of today's game.
Now back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Welcome back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show live here from Mare Sol, and the food is abounding. What did you get? That looks...
He got a burger.
Just a classic burger there. Well, it's not a whole pig, but I guess that'll do for tonight.
They fought over the cheese. I think he went with provolone, so he spiced it up a little bit.
There you go. Well, that's a good call on you. Good call on you. We're having a great time here at Mare Sol tonight. We invite you to come in here and join us. Of course, we'll have the Matt Mumme Show every Monday night throughout the season, and we've got the Granger Gridiron Show that will be coming on at 7:30. But right now, we want to welcome a special guest in, Coach. You were just giving him some props and some suggestions for the game. This is Jalen Smith. He's the drum major for our LaGrange College band. He's a product of the we've got fans out here.
Oh, you guys are nice.
He's a product of the Troup County school system. In fact, was a student when I was at Westside Magnet School as the assistant principal. He was one of our students there, was incredibly talented, and has gone on to great things there. And, Jalen, you were really the first drum major of LaGrange College ever.
Yes, it's been pretty interesting. You get a chance to really make the traditions as opposed to just being a part of them. So it's an extra layer.
Well, I'm a kind of a musician myself. I'm really happy that y'all changed the fight song from what it was about 4 or 5 years ago. It was Since Jesus Came Into My Heart, basically, was the song. It was like, da, 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 da. But so glad that they've rewritten that. But y'all have done, last year, just a small band getting things started under Josh Roberts. But this year, y'all just expanded exponentially.
Right. He's done a lot of work. I think sometimes people don't understand or maybe just don't realize how much work he does behind the scenes in order to make the band grow. So he does a lot of work, but it's really a product of everything he's done. It's been great. It's been tough, but it's been great.
Well, you're a full-time student. You're trying to make sure all that takes place, but also to be able to be there to get your rehearsals done, because you both play an instrument and you work as the drum major. You got to get things going in the stands, on the field. You got the actual drills that take place. There's a whole lot going on. You don't have a lot of spare time, I would imagine, right now.
No, not really, because you got the musical and everything's going on, but it's all stuff that I love. But no, there's not much extra time going on.
But, whoa, wow, I'm super loud there. Going back to, Coach, you were talking to Jalen at the table a minute ago. One of the things that we want to do is get people out there making noise during the ball game, really getting excited. That's one of the things that the band does so well, is getting people energized in between plays and as the game progresses.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to critique our first home game, I think, for our fan base, it was the fans were there, but they weren't being loud when we needed them to be loud. And so it's like, you watch games on Saturday and you see, Auburn or Alabama or Georgia play, they're going to be really, really loud when the other team is on offense. And so that's what Jalen and I were talking about before the show here. And I actually had a conversation with Josh Roberts. I mean, he understands that he can't always play his instruments, but we did approve in the USA South 2 years ago that you are allowed to use noisemakers in the stadiums. And realistically, why we did that as coaches was just to continue this feeling of a football atmosphere and allowing more people in the stands to get into the game environment instead of just sitting there and watching it.
Well, and part of the job of the band, Dylan, is also y'all kind of drive the crowd. You kind of let them know when it's appropriate to have a good time, when to get them fired up. And if you've been to any of the D1 college games, the bands do such a great job. And I think y'all are really starting to learn what y'all need to do as well up there.
Absolutely.
Well, and sometimes they're afraid to. They don't know, well, is the referee going to come over there? And I'm like, and I tell I'm like, Josh, look, when I yell and scream at you, that doesn't mean anything. Like, that's just, I'm just making a show for the referee so that he thinks that we've said something to you. Just keep doing what you're doing. So, but I mean, Jalen, you guys have done a tremendous job, and Josh gave me the opportunity to go over and speak to the band before the season, and it is really cool what you're getting to do, and you are starting a tradition here that's going to be amazing for a lot of people.
Going to be a lot of fun. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, lots more to talk about as we're at Marisol for the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show on Eagle Sports.
Have you eaten at Summit Grill? Well, then tomorrow is your day to enjoy some biscuits in the morning. And for lunch, grab the blue plate with 3 sides and a drink. What? You want hand-breaded fresh chicken? Summit Grill has it. Let's say you want to feed the whole crew. Large orders are no problem. Chicken with bone-in or chicken tenders, Summit Grill's got you covered. 2 locations on West Point Road next to Pegasus Parkway in LaGrange, or on State Road in West Point, Georgia next to Frisky Whiskey. Come eat with us at Summit Grill.
I don't know about you ladies, but I love to keep my car clean. The only problem is my schedule. I just don't have time to wash it myself. But I have found the place to go. The LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. They have great prices, and I always feel comfortable there. They do an amazing job. And if that's not enough to get you to give them a try, they also get you in and out in no time. LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. Open 8:30 to 6, Monday through Saturday. Just look for the giant gorilla at the LaGrange Car Wash.
Every Everywhere you look on your campus, some event is happening, and that's the way you want it. But keeping your active campus clean and looking its best isn't easy. Nonetheless, National makes it look easy. Low staff turnover and a commitment to excellence allow National to ensure your campus from top to bottom, inside and out, is always perfect and spotless. Parents and students alike give us a 4.0, and we settle for nothing less. You'll like having National on the job.
Visit us at teamnational.com to see what National can do for you.
You're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Welcome back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show live here from Marisol. I'm joined with Coach Matt Mumme, and we've also asked Jalen Smith, he's the drum major for LaGrange College, to come and join us. Again, we've been talking about how their program is really almost, y'all gone from about 20 to over 60?
Now we're running about 40, 42, so it's doubled pretty much.
Well, and also you've got the color guard. You've got all the people not just playing instruments, but everybody else that's surrounding the program. That's a big part of that. Now, what is y'all's rehearsal schedule like during the week?
We rehearse Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and then on game week we add a Friday rehearsal just to try to do some visual stuff and make sure everything's tight. So we rehearse for about an hour and a half to 2 hours each day. Trying to put in as much work as we can to be as effective as possible. Well,
so probably you don't realize that y'all also have to be prepared as you come to those. You're not spending your time learning your music there. Right. That's something y'all have got to do outside of the actual practice.
Absolutely. There's a lot of stuff you have to do away from the rehearsal in order for the actual rehearsal to be productive. If you don't know your music when you get there, then we waste a lot of time.
Coach, probably like a playbook. You don't have time to sit there and go through a playbook at a practice. You need to know what you know before you come out there.
I mean, as much as you wish, that they would learn everything just at practice, but it's a lot of mental reps away from when you're actually on the field, and the same way for them. I mean, a lot of mental reps when they're actually away from doing what they're doing on the field.
Now, when did y'all get started with your practices this summer? Just when everybody came back, or were y'all working all through the summer this year?
We did a 2-week band camp. So we moved in, I believe it was around August 11th, and the color guard and the percussion started doing rehearsals, and then the band moved in a couple of days later, the instrumentalist. So we got about 2 weeks before classes started.
Okay, so set up a nice little foundation for you. Now, you also work in the theater with the theater department, with the music department, and now are you going for one of the new music theater degrees? Is that what your major is?
I was.
Okay.
That was my track. I ended up staying with vocal performance.
Okay.
But that is something that they offer now, which is still kind of new. So
brand new, yeah.
It's interesting, yeah.
I'm very excited for the college to combine what's going on with the music department and also what's going on with the theater department to make this new musical theater degree. And did y'all have anything coming up in the next few months?
We do. Actually, toward the end of October, we have Into the Woods.
Oh, man, the movie was out a few years ago.
Right.
A lot of folks know that show.
I believe the first performance is on the 20th,
okay.
But if not, it is that week. And then later on in December, we have more of a straight play called Almost Maine.
Okay. Now, are you in both of those shows?
I am in Into the Woods.
Who are you portraying in Into the Woods?
I am Rapunzel's prince. So it's kind of interesting how they weave the stories together, all the fairy tales that you learn as a kid. They've put them together and added music. So it's really interesting. I think if you come and see it, you won't be sorry that you came.
Now, do you actually have to climb hair?
That remains to be seen. I won't reveal that.
Okay.
You should come see.
There you go.
How about that?
There we go. Leave a little bit for the imagination. That's what you're doing. Well, Jalen, we appreciate you taking some time tonight. I know you've got other rehearsals. You're in college. You've got stuff going on tonight. But we appreciate you taking some time and coming out here and joining us for the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jalen Smith. He's the inaugural drum major for LaGrange College, and he'll continue in that role throughout the year. Matt and I'll talk more football when we come back. Right now you're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show on Eagle Sports.
Grade dining starts at Marisol on Main Street in LaGrange. Open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner. Locally owned and operated by Charles and Chase Hudson, who have created a fun atmosphere with delicious food for you and your family. So no matter if you're out with friends and want to visit at the bar or sit down for a family meal, Marisol is here for you. Marisol, Main Street, LaGrange, on Facebook and on the web at marisolrestaurant.com. When you choose a dentist, you want to know that you made the right decision. So where do you start? Go to BellDentalCenter.com. That's the right way to begin to know Dr. Bell and his staff. And then drop in at 106 Corporate Plaza Drive in LaGrange and visit with the staff. And you'll know that this is the right place for you and your family. Bell Dental Center offers comprehensive dentistry with an emphasis on aesthetics, restorative treatments, mini dental implants, root canal therapy, sedation dentistry, as well as Botox and Juvederm treatments. Bell Dental Center. Visit their website at BellDentalCenter.com.
Students at LaGrange College travel to places like London, Tokyo, and the jungles of Costa Rica through our Study Away commitment. First-year freshmen are provided a voucher worth up to $2,500 for an off-campus travel experience their junior or senior year. Attend college close to home and still see the world at LaGrange College. Learn more at lagrange.edu/transform.
Now back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Welcome back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show live here from Mayor Solon. Coach, we were just talking to Jalen Smith, a great kid, a high character kid, and you've also got some guys that work in the theater department as well on your team.
Yeah, it was great having Jalen here, and he is really impressive singing wise. He for the opening session, Dr. McAlexander had him get up and have a performance, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody,
He'll
was
capture
just
your heart. That's
so
for sure.
proud to get to see him do that. But yeah, so a young man we recruited from Jones County, River Vaughn. He has a great name too.
Wow, man, you should almost see that in lights there. River Vaughn.
He plays center for us. He's a third-string center, and Kim Knoll, who does all of our theatrical stuff, she is an awesome lady, and I've enjoyed spending some time and getting to know her. But they put him up on stage and they let him try out, and they loved him, and so he did a great job. And so we've got a big football player that's going to go be a part of their performances. Hopefully, I know Saturday morning he's got a tryout for In the Woods, but hopefully he'll make it, and hopefully he'll do the football team proud in the theater realm.
Well, and of course, no one will give him a hard time about that at all, I'm sure.
I don't think so. He's probably going to catch a little bit of grief for it,
I did kind of that dual kind of thing. I played football and did theater in high school, and actually I was able to help guys with their homework, so most of the guys didn't mess with me. They left me alone.
Right.
So it's good to have that side going on. Now, Coach, we got really jumping to conference play. Something I realized you told me in the break is that I'd asked you how some of the other teams in our conference did, but the entire conference took the week off.
Yeah, so when Christopher Newport left the conference 2 years ago, it left a void. So what it did was the conference commissioner at the time, Rita, decided that, okay, you'll get 4 weeks up front to play your 3 non-conference opponents. Well, so basically everybody's scheduled like, we thought we would, and so we all played 3 straight weeks and then had an off week, and now we'll all go into conference this week together. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Coach Turk in Huntington has done a tremendous job over there. They're 3-0, and so I think looking at the polls this morning, they're ranked 15th in the nation. And a lot of the schools in our conference have had successful early rounds here in the first 3 games. So, this week we play Averett, and we're going to have our hands full, and we're going to have to get ready for them.
Yeah, they're coming in. We talked about Huntington. You think about the kind of rivalries that we're beginning to develop. Huntington, Maryville, whenever they come in, they're always, or we go there, those are always really big games. But Averett's becoming one of those games as well.
Yeah, and Coach Adams took over there a couple of years ago, and he came from Ferrum where he was the defensive coordinator, and Cleve's done a great job. He's done a really good job of changing the scope of Averett, changing what they look like. The athletes they've got on the field are good players. And, this game is definitely, a few years ago you probably would have said LaGrange would just be able to walk into it and win. But, he's done a tremendous job. And, and I've told our guys, in the off week we had a couple extra days to get ahead, and we got to jump on the game plan for Averett. And I told them, guys, we are going to have to work hard. We're going to have to stay focused and get our minds right for that game.
Well, they're making a trip here because they don't want to come in and get a loss. They're coming in prepared for us. But you're right. That does give you a little bit more opportunity to begin to prepare. But do y'all begin to look ahead a little bit, though, and start to put a few things that you may be able to use on down the line as well?
No, for us right now, and our senior class of 18 has done a tremendous job of this each week. They just keep saying 1-0, and we're 2-1 right now. But their voice of the team has been, Coach, it's just 1-0 this week, and that's all we got to focus on. And so I'm proud of them that's where our focus has been, and so that they know each day it's all about Averett right now. It's not about looking at next week. It's not about looking at 2 weeks down the road. It's what are we going to do this weekend and make sure we take care of business.
It shows a lot of maturity on their part because that's hard for a young person to do. You tend to pull up a schedule, you look and say, oh, man, in a few weeks we got Huntington or we've got the Maryville coming up there. But to be able to think, all right, this is the game. Those don't matter until I get this one taken care of.
Right, and again, and that's what I've said all along. That's what I've said for the last couple of years is, we got to grow young men up, and we got to get to a point where we've got maturity. And we finally do. It's nice for me to know that I go into the office every day and I've got, 32, 33 guys that are banging down the door to come in and say, hey, okay, what do we need to do this week? What do I need to do to get better? How am I going to help the team? So
well, and they're coming in both from an intellectual standpoint. They're, from the game planning, what can we do, what can I learn? But also, your guys have done a tremendous job of continuing to work and stay strong and keep that. You talked about the heat and the endurance that they had to have down at Ave Maria. That continues through the season as well.
Yeah, and that's, and all that goes to Connor McNamee, my strength coordinator, has just done a great job of making sure we're conditioned at the appropriate times. Make sure, our weight workouts. We did a weight workout yesterday. He pushes them, but he doesn't tax them. So, they come out of it knowing they got the workout in, but they don't feel exhausted to where they're like, okay, well, now I got to go practice on Tuesday and I'm not ready for it.
They're not hurting quite so bad as in the old days. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll kind of get us a clearer picture going forward. Also talk a little bit about the JV and see how they're doing. But right now you're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show on Eagle Sports.
Calling all area coaches. Calling all area coaches, high school coaches, travel ball coaches, and more. Mud Creek Team Sales is now selling sporting goods like Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell for travel teams, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and more. For more information, call Mud Creek Team Sales today at 706-884-5592. Call Coach Jeter or Greg Hicks. Calling all area coaches. Mud Creek Team Sales with all your sporting goods. Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell. Mud Creek Team Sales, a proud sponsor of today's game.
Have you eaten at Summit Grill? Well, then tomorrow is your day to enjoy some biscuits in the morning. And for lunch, grab the blue plate with 3 sides and a drink. What? You want hand-breaded fresh chicken? Summit Grill has it. Let's say you want to feed the whole crew. Large orders are no problem. Chicken with bone-in or chicken tenders, Summit Grill's got you covered. 2 locations on West Point Road next to Pegasus Parkway in LaGrange or on State Road in West Point, Georgia next to Frisky Whiskey. Come eat with us at Summit Grill.
I don't know about you ladies, but I love to keep my car clean. The only problem is my schedule. I just don't have time to wash it myself. But I have found the place to go. The LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. They have great prices, and I always feel comfortable there. They do an amazing job. And if that's not enough to get you to give them a try, they also get you in and out in no time. LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. Open 8:30 to 6, Monday through Saturday. Just look for the giant gorilla at the LaGrange Car Wash.
You're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Welcome back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show. We're live from Marisol. I invite you to come on out here and join us. It's a great night. Got a little bit of fun going on the far side. People are enjoying their meals, and we invite you to come and join us to have that as well. Coach, we've got we had the off week. We don't really talking about X's and O's and the game, but you did have your JV guys get a chance to get some reps and have a little bit of fun with Fort Benning.
Yeah, so what a lot of people don't realize is, when you look at Division III schools, a lot of these schools will have JV programs. And that's just an opportunity for young men to get reps because since we don't redshirt, they either, basically they lose the year or they play that year. So they're going to get reps on Sunday, and it's a great opportunity for them. And sometimes it's not always what they want to do, but, what I always tell them is, the more reps you get, the better you're going to be.
Right.
And you don't know, one week you might be playing JV and the next week you might be on the varsity. So it's a good opportunity for them. This week, this coming Sunday at Callaway Stadium, we got a unique opportunity that we've been doing for the last few years, and that's we're going to play the guys from Fort Benning. And, these are military guys, and of course my hats always go off
Sure.
to all those men and women that serve our great country and do what they do, so that we get to play this great game and on Saturdays and get to coach this great game every day of the week. But so it's. I don't say it to my guys, but basically you got trained killers coming up here to play a football game on Sunday. So
the shotgun snap has a whole different meaning to them.
It's but it's great. Last year they had a guy on their offensive line that was, I want to say he was like 46 years old, and so it's just a guy that he's been a lifetime career military guy, and that's an opportunity for him to get to line up and do something that he just loves to do. So. It is a unique thing, and James Gibson, their head football coach, who's also the head football coach of the arena team in Columbus, who won the title this year in the Arena League, which is pretty cool. He does a great job with him. Really nice guy. I've enjoyed getting to know him and, getting to know some of those guys on the team down there.
Tell me, if you haven't had a chance to go see an Arena League football game, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about – I know that we throw the ball a lot with the air raid offense, but goodness gracious.
Well, it's fast break.
Oh, God.
It's basketball on a short field. I think they play, 50 or 60-yard deal. And Ryan Holland, one of our guys, our offensive lineman for the last 3 years, was their starting center this year.
I didn't realize that. That's great.
So he got a ring on his finger, so it was really cool to see one of our exes, down there continuing his deal.
That's a lot of fun. Now, you mentioned we're got Averett coming in. One of the things that we were talking about in the pregame is, and I guess the pre-show, is that tailgating is something that we really want folks to come out and do. Come out there early, maybe even spend the night and cook a pig, you don't know. But come on out early and be a part of that, because that's a lot of fun for it. Plus, with a 5 o'clock start coming up this weekend, you have a lot of time to have fun and listen to some other ball games and that sort of thing before you get ready for our kickoff.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and gives a great environment that our kids love to see. And, our guest tonight here at Marisol's has been Leslie Traylor, and she's done a lot of awesome things over in admissions. And then her husband, Chad, who you were just talking about, who was the one for the Berry game that came up. I think he got to the field at like 11 p.m., brought his smoker, had a 80-pound pig. He had like 5 butts, some racks of ribs, and cooked all night for all the people that were going to tailgate the next day. And I think he was pretty exhausted.
Something like 36 hours with no sleep, just cooking meat, yeah.
No doubt. I'm sure he had a little bit of fun in there too. So,
Well, everybody around him definitely had a good time. I think one guy, spent $5 on 2 plates of ribs, so that's really great. But it is a great time. Come out there and you get to walk around, see other people. A lot of alumni are turning out for these things. I know that David Fowler is a friend of mine. He has a converted hearse that's now the party mobile that he pulls out into that thing. They just have a great time over there with the tailgating over across the field.
Yeah, and the one thing that makes me proud is that, the parents have gotten involved. People from the community have gotten involved, like Chad. And, it's really becoming a cool environment. And that's what that's what my players want. That's what my players want to see. They want that feeling of college football. And I think over the last 2 or 3 years, we've really started to generate that.
Well, just the Panther Walk coming over from the Callaway building and making their way to the field, the fans getting excited, lining up, cheering them on as they come. The band now playing as they're doing that as well. It's all starting to come together to really give you that full collegiate atmosphere that I think that y'all really have envisioned.
Yep, it's been a really neat deal and something that I'm really proud to be a part of. And obviously Dr. McAlexander and Jennifer Claybrook have been instrumental in getting us to where we're at right now.
Well, if you don't have the administrative support, then nothing's going to work out.
No doubt. And my hat's off to them, and I always thank them and appreciate them for giving me this opportunity to do what I do.
Well, it's a lot of fun. Of course, I'm a big fan of the college. Been a couple of degrees from there. Spent a lot of time. My father has worked and run the pool for 20-plus years. So it's definitely a place that it continues to grow. I think that there's a real neat vision of where the college is going to not just be a small regional school, but be a first-class university for people from all around the country to come to.
Yeah, it's a great place for young men and young women to come get an education. And it's a great environment. What I always tell parents is hey, you're going to get a lot of attention. Your sons and daughters are going to get a lot of attention whether they like it or not. So that's what's so great about it. And for parents, when they sit there and see that, their son or daughter is going to be sitting in a classroom and there might only be 10 to 15 students in there, so every professor is going to know their names. That's a big deal.
Yes, a big, huge deal. Well, Coach, it's been a great the time's gone by really quick. We appreciate Jalen Smith joining us when we talk about the band program. Big game against Averett coming up. Again, the kickoff's at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yep.
So we invite everybody to come out there. Get there early. Enjoy the afternoon across at the auditorium. It's supposed to be good weather coming up this weekend. All the things I've looked at say we're getting a little cooler, maybe the 80s.
Maybe a fall.
Exactly.
Maybe we're getting into fall.
Maybe the fall football season will start. But it'll be a lot of fun. We appreciate you all joining us tonight. Live from Mayor Soul. We'll see you next week on the radio.